Hello everyone, welcome to the sample room. Today we're going to be going over putting bias binding on our workwear vest. I've already done it to the neck here, looks pretty good. See on the inside here, lovely. But I haven't done it to the arm and I thought I would just do a quick video because there's a great little hack to getting bias binding around corners. It can be pretty difficult. It can stretch if you're not leaving in enough ease in the correct way. So I thought I'd just do a little video and show you how. So let's get into it. Okay, so I just cut some bias from my kind of mid-weight 100% organic cotton material that is the vest is made from. So I cut some bias and now I am going to put it through our bias binding maker. In the vest pattern, I do have cut an exact amount with notches in it for the parts of the armhole. I don't even follow my own pattern. I just cut a huge strip of bias binding and we're just gonna, go with the flow. So put it to the wrong side and stick your bias binding in the binding maker. I'm not even sure what to call this. And then I always use a pin to put it through here. Voila. And then iron as you go. Okay, once you're done making your binding, let's go pin it. Okay, we just finished our bias binding. I'm gonna cut some loose threads. So again, this is cut just like a large piece of bias. So I'm gonna start by our center, our true side here, aligning, just leaving a little bit of extra binding here, pinning it at the true side of our vest. Now, if you are seeing any curve and you can tell that if you flip it to the inside, you're going to need more on the outside here. We need to add ease right along these curves of the armhole because when it flips to the inside, we're going to need more along this outer edge. This outer edge is greater than this inner edge. So we need to add some ease within the bias binding. But we also don't want to see a lot of puckers here. So add just like a little bit of ease. And even just use your pin. Add a little bit, pin. You see that? Tiny bit. So that when you sew it, it's not going to create creases. Add a little bit of ease right when you start to turn the corner here. Pin. And there is ease baked into the vest pattern binding. So that is great to have. But if you're just doing this on a whim, like I normally do, this is what I do. Creating ripples of ease around curves for a binding. When it starts to get straight up here, you're not going to need that extra binding when you turn it in. And I always like to do just like a little bit extra before it hits the straight. And then once it hits the straight, then you're Gucci. Then you can just pin every few inches or so. There's a little bit of curve here. So I'm gonna add just like a little bit of ease because I can tell this is already gonna be a tough corner. And just feel it out. Even you can You can practice, like pin where you would sew and see how it feels when you turn it around. And you're like, oh, this edge feels tight. Like maybe I should ease it in a little bit more. That's also why I like not cutting the binding to be exact. I like building in the ease, because let's say I sew this and I know like I didn't give myself enough room around this portion. I can go back, undo, add a little bit more ease. And if I didn't have this extra, you know, I couldn't do that, because every fabric is different. Some bias will, you know, it will stretch more than others. So it truly just depends on what material you're using. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't follow my pattern, but I'm saying just do what feels right for you. Okay, I'm starting to hit this curve here. So I'm gonna start to add a little bit of ease, and as it curves more under the arm, that's when I'm gonna really hit it full throttle. Also, I love pinning. I know everyone's starting to use those like binder clip looking pins. I don't get it. Okay, now that we've pinned all the way around, I'm going to still leave a little bit extra. I'm gonna cut this. Still leave a little bit extra. I'm gonna cut it. So now that we know semi how much we need, I'm gonna pin right where it feels ready to be sewn to close up our binding. So I'm gonna sew this first, and then I'm gonna sew all the way around. I'm gonna press it open as well. Okay, that's done. And now I'm ready to sew the rest. I'm gonna sew this starting here. And as you're going, make sure you're really trying to not get any bumps while you sew, but still making sure there's ease here. Just cutting a little bit of my extra seam allowance. So I'm gonna press these open. I did make a little miss there. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna press all of my seams open, and then I'm gonna press them to the binding side, because then we're going to understitch. So now that I'm done pressing, I'm going to clip my seam allowance that is closest to the binding, because we're going to flip this and then edge stitch here on the binding. So trim your seam allowance here. I like to leave like 1/8 of an inch. I usually just try and just ballpark it. It doesn't really matter. Just so that when you flip this and you're edge stitching, you just don't want to see a lot of bulk here. I can already tell this is like way thinner. So I'm gonna clip, and then we're going to flip our seam allowance to the binding side and sew on the binding 1/8 of an inch or a few millimeters offset. Trim my seam allowance here too. Once you do this, there's not really going back. now we're gonna stitch. Okay, so we just finished our edge stitch. She looks pretty good. So now we're going to follow where we ironed with our binding. Press it just with my fingers along that crease, and then again to where you can just see the edge of the body of the vest. Beautiful. See, you can see how much extra binding we have so that we're not going to get any like funky stretching here. Oh, that looks so good. Then I did have a little whoopsie right here. I tried to ease a little bit too much in. But like, look at that. Like, it's literally, besides that whoopsie, it looks so nice. And this isn't being stretched at all. It's literally lays perfectly. Ah, so happy. So I'm gonna pin all the way around and then I'll show you and then we'll sew and then we'll be done. Looks amazing. Just finished pinning. I'm not sure if you can see that, but looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy. And this is the armhole and it has like such nice shape to it. So happy. We're gonna sew it up. And here is the final product. She looks super clean. There's no stretching really around here. This is just a little crumply here, don't mind that. Yeah, I'm super happy with this technique. And here's the other side. Yeah, just looks so clean. Great way to finish this vest, and thanks for watching this video.